It's all good shooting with all singing and dancing primes, expensive professional f2.8 zooms, but very often a lot of us just want a lens that can do it all. Very often simply we do not want to change lenses all the time or carry multiple lenses to be able to shoot wide angle and telephoto when traveling, for example. This lens is exactly that, a universal zoom that can do more than 3 or 4 lenses in one package. This small package. This is Sigma 20-200mm f3.5 to f6.3 DG Contemporary. Full frame lens available for Sony E and L-Mount cameras, and all the samples you see in this video were shot with L-Mount version, this L-Mount version on Lumix S1II. There are a few lenses like this on the market, but usually these all-in-one zooms start at 24mm or 28mm. This is, in my opinion, huge advantage of this lens. 20mm wide end makes it more versatile, as here you do get a proper wide angle with an option to really zoom in. So how does it perform? It is a Sigma, so no surprise that you get high quality optics here. It's not really a question if it is sharp or not, it is, but how does it perform in everyday situations with those changeable apertures. So here, like with many lenses like this, the aperture automatically changes, closes, allowing less light in as soon as you start zooming in. f3.5 at 20mm wide end and f6.3 when you fully zoom in to 200mm. On paper it does not look brilliant, but generally speaking it's not really a problem. Not a problem if you use it right. It's not a fast lens, it's not ideal lens to shoot in really low lighting conditions with it, but it's not bad, and not so wide apertures do not make it unusable in lower lighting conditions. Firstly, most of modern mirrorless cameras can produce relatively clean looking images when cranking ISO up high. So you can compensate for the lack of wide aperture with higher sensitivity of sensor to light by cranking ISO up. Secondly, when you pair it with a camera that has got built-in stabilization, you can reduce motion blur caused by shooting with slower shutter speeds by camera stabilization. Okay, not all cameras can do both of these things well, but I have been testing it on Lumix Cam. With this S1II, I can shoot with ISO 4000, ISO 5000 with very little noise visible, and built-in IBIS allows me to shoot sharp photos handheld with shutter speeds even as slow as 1/10 of a second. All current full-frame Lumix cameras can do it. You are not so lucky with all Sony cameras, but a lot of them can do it pretty well too. You can also remove ISO noise easily in edit these days. All this makes this lens very usable and much easier to shoot with than the numbers suggest. Using it, I never thought that I am really limited or that I can't use it. Generally speaking, a daytime lens, but usable if used correctly in any shooting situation. I love this focal range for travel photography. Great range to get landscape or architecture, wide angle shots and candid street photos at the same time. Also for all you chasing the professional look, the subject to background separation and the bokeh, here it is not too bad. Overall, more you zoom in and closer you are to your subject, more of the zoom compression the lens is going to create and more of that look. The background still blurs even at f6.3. It will never be the same as with f1.8 prime, but this lens is not about that, in my opinion. You also can get really close to your subject with it physically and by zooming in to capture macro-like images. Added bonus, making it even more versatile. Maybe not a lens for professional sports photography or events, but when you have enough light and take your time, it can really deliver outstanding results. Shooting video with it, no problems focusing, no focus hunting, a little bit of focus breathing at wide and only. Just as for photography, great focal range for everyday shooting, great versatile range. However, when filming with it, that changeable aperture is more of a problem, as you can visibly see image darkening when zooming in when aperture closes. What makes this lens a little bit more special is the hybrid zoom function of the latest Lumix cameras like this S1II. When switched on, you can extend zoom range without losing any image quality in video mode. Camera uses full sensor area to do this, so 4K video is still 4K video, no crops. With 24 million pixel sensor cameras like S5IIX or S1II, the hybrid zoom extends the range from 20mm to 312. And with S1R2, you get a whopping 20 to 419mm zoom in a lens this small. Unreal. Built. Zoom lenses with this kind of reach are usually large. This thanks to those not so wide apertures, is not a big or heavy lens at all. It weighs only 550 grams. Standard Sigma contemporary construction and design. Externally all hard plastic, feeling in hand it feels like a well-made lens. Firm to turn zoom ring, lens extends quite a bit when zooming in with it. The focus ring is a little bit loose, not tragically bad, but it could be a little bit better, a bit tighter. There's standard auto manual focus switch and lock switch that locks the lens at 20mm so it doesn't accidentally extend when you are pulling it out from the camera bag, for example. Filter thread is 72mm and the lens has got dust and splash resistant construction. Price and value for money. It's not dirt cheap, but taking into consideration the unique focal range that gives you wide angle as well as telephoto in one lens, it's not a bad price. £799 here in UK or $999 in US. Not fast wide aperture bokeh monster, but a lens that can replace 2 large zooms or 4 standard primes for situations when you don't want to or can't change lenses continuously, like when traveling, hiking or doing street photography. This focal range for this money makes it really good value for money, in my opinion. Conclusion. I do like this lens a lot. Wide angle and telephoto in one, very versatile lens. I'm used to shooting with all singing and dancing primes and I've been doing it for over 20 years, and this lens is giving me ability to enjoy photography in a different way because it needs light for optimal results or more thought into how I shoot photos with it. It's a lens that somehow is very satisfying to nail great results with. I can't say that it is the easiest lens to use, but certainly fun to use. I often struggle to choose the right lens to take with me when I shoot photos. For me, a lens that I can easily carry with me all day long, a lens that is not attracting attention to itself when doing street photography, and a lens that I can still be creative with. This ticks all the boxes for me. If you are looking for a lens to upgrade from a kit lens or one lens to take with you when traveling, you should totally check this one out. I highly recommend it. And that's it. Thank you for watching. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one.